Yo, Zombie Mafia, what's shaking? It must be Saturday night, and I hope you got your game on because it's 9 o'clock, and it's time for Live from the Morgue on morelikeradio.com. Well, I hope everybody's having a good day, having a lot of fun out there, because we got ourselves a fucking show that you will not believe tonight. We got more people in studio. We got more guests. We got a whole lots of shit going on. So let's get to it, shall we? Sitting in tonight, return guests coming back in the door, saying hello to everybody. I'm going to give everybody a warm welcome to Mr. V. Welcome back, brother.
Very nice to be here.
Very cool, man. Very cool. I'm glad you could stop through. And sitting in on second mic, we got Anthony.
Howdy.
No, see, I got you muted. You know why? Because these go first. Yeah, boy. There we go. Learning experience here on the Morgue.
Hey, thank you. Thank you very much.
How about you? Sitting across from me, my cousin, the one, the only, Johnny Fastlane. That's it.
What's up, everybody?
Hell yeah, Johnny. Hell
Glad
yeah.
to be here, man. I'm going to have a good show tonight.
We got sitting in a land down under. He is 12,000 miles away. May I introduce everybody again? Not that he needs any introducing. We got Lord Darklaw. Oh. No. Sorry, Dark.
Hello, everybody.
And then for a special guest tonight, we have the wonderful, the amazing author, Susan Dean.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Howdy ho, Miss Sue. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Excellent, excellent. I'm going to also ask you to reset your mic, if you don't mind.
We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're not worthy! We're scum! We're scum!
Well, anyway, just to get back on the topic, Susan, please tell us, you've told us about your kids, and tell us about pets. You got any pets or anything at home to keep you company?
Yes, I do. I have 2 dogs, and we actually have 3 horses. We live on almost a 5-acre property, and I think my husband bought the horses so he didn't have to mow part of the property.
He sounds like a smart man. So do you ride the horses much? You get outside much? A bit outdoorsy?
Not much anymore from the riding because it takes up so much time. But every once in a while we get out there and get on them, go riding around out here.
So you consider yourself good in the saddle then?
I think I am.
Okay, cool. So I'd check. So back to the books. Now, as we've mentioned, you've got 2 books: Rise of the Spyres series, The Beginning and Dark Skies. Tell us a bit about these books and what motivated you to write them.
Well, essentially, it breaks down to they're books about good versus evil, with 2 human races that I created called the Spyres and the Telkins. Shiloh has to go through her life with her twin brother, Danko, and he's trying to convince her that there's something not right with their family that's going on. The family picks up and moves from where they were living when they were 5 years old and moves to this really beautiful place. But then their parents start doing all this peculiar activity in the middle of the night, and they can't figure out what it is. Eventually, after she starts figuring out that her brother is correct, that they're doing something, they get into a car to go to dinner one night and get into a car accident. So before their parents could tell them what they were doing, they died in the accident.
So basically,
So now after that, they have to rebuild their lives and try to figure out what it was.
So anyway, back to the interview.
Yes.
Falling behind. These books, tell us a bit about them. You've told us about the kids are now trying to find what their parents were up to.
Well, instead of a
Yes.
plot summary, though, why don't you tell people what would be interesting to them, which is how can these books relate to them and what will they get through this magical journey? Because it would be nice to experience the journey and have it unfold on your own accord.
Well, it was actually kind of strange because when I started writing the first one and started editing the first few chapters, I realized that what I was writing was actually stuff that I went through in my past. So I had aha moments, basically. Wait a minute, that happened to me, that happened to me. And I realized I was venting my rage from being in 2 abusive relationships.
Now, you were in abusive relationships from the beginning?
From the beginning of...
Relationships.
No, the first one with my my husband, my ex-husband with my daughter, it didn't start out like that. But eventually it got to the point where it was a little push or shove or calling me names, and then it just escalated from there.
So then at that point you had enough and then you had left them, you moved on?
Right.
And now
And then...
the second
Oh,
husband.
go ahead. Then the second husband, same thing.
Everything was fine and started
Everything
off well?
was fine. Yep.
Now, your first husband, now that's your childhood, your childhood sweetheart, if you would?
No, he actually wasn't, but
Well,
the first...
well, how old were you when you first met him and you had the child with him?
I was 17.
So, I mean, before that, you really hadn't had a serious relationship. Wouldn't that be fair to say?
Not as serious as that, as getting pregnant and then getting married, which is the opposite way that you should do it.
So, I mean, well, that is true. But that's all right, though. No one says you got
Not in this day and age.
That
It's
happens
not
to a lot of people.
You don't have to follow the guidelines to be happy.
Right. Right.
So, okay, so then after the first time, you were like, okay, I'm assuming you were with the man for quite a while.
Actually, both of the relationships only lasted for 4 years each.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to get out of my second one.
So after around, like you were around 21, 22, you found somebody else then?
Right.
Okay. So, and then now this guy started off as a nice guy. Everything was good. And did you even have a
Oh.
inkling that he was abusive before you married him?
Oh, not in the least, because at the time when I still had custody of my daughter from my first husband, he had a son that was the same age. So it was like a little built-in family.
Huh. Interesting. So,
And oh, go ahead.
oh, I was just going to ask. So, I mean, everything seems like it was going good. So what went wrong then?
If I could get into his head, I maybe could answer that for you.
You don't know
But-
what made him get abusive.
Why does anybody get abusive? Jealousy.
Small dick.
That'll do
Small
it.
dick. Yeah.
All right. So, at what
Bad in
point?
bed. I don't know.
At what point in the relationship then were you with him before things had turned south? Like, how long were you with him? Like 2 years, 3 years?
It was about a year and a half that I was with him, and I was working late nights in a liquor store. Actually, it was a liquor store. And he just didn't like, I guess, the people that were coming in there because I was being friendly. I don't know. I mean, that's really something you'd have to...
Well, actually
Yeah,
sounds
they-
like a confidence issue.